Welcome to another episode of the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. Today, you're listening to the podcast, in which we thank you. Did you know that you can also watch the video on YouTube or LinkedIn? And of course, you can also watch it on our Facebook page. Today is Trademark Law Day. We have our attorney, Susana Mahady, with us. Today, we're talking about tacos and trademarks. Tacos. I wonder if they have birria tacos. Let's find out. Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Yes. It's plain and simple like me, vanilla.
Vanilla, because today is actually chocolate ice cream day.
Ooh, no.
Not you?
Not me. I prefer vanilla.
Vanilla. All right. So that's chocolate ice cream without the chocolate.
It is.
And it's kind of topical because our topic today has to do with food.
Yes, it does. And it's actually, these are two topics that are near and dear to my heart, which is trademarks and tacos.
Trademarks and tacos. And
I thought it'd be fun to talk about a little battle that's been brewing lately. And I'm sure some people have heard about it in the media. It's been, there's commercials about this, but it relates to the phrase Taco Tuesday, which happens to be a registered trademark.
And I saw commercials. We were talking about this before we started the podcast. I've seen commercials for Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. Would you? LeBron James is involved.
Correct. Yeah, Taco Bell is actually launching this campaign to try to get Taco Tuesday's registration canceled so that it could be used by anyone and everyone. And this actually is a trademark that has been registered since 1989, and it's owned by a company. It's a Wyoming taco chain called Taco John's, and they've been using it since. But Taco Bell recently decided to request to the Patent and Trademark Office to cancel the registration, claiming that the phrase has become so generic by its use that everyone should be able to use it.
To me, that sounds like the big guy in the sandbox who says, "You know what? All the toys are mine, and I'm going to change the rules because I'm bigger than you." Mm-hmm. Is it doable?
It's definitely doable. I mean, Taco Tuesday has grown in cultural popularity. I mean, it's this cultural phenomenon. I mean, everybody uses it, food trucks, restaurants, and so on and so forth. And so this is another important lesson in enforcement, right? It's like we talked about this with the Super Bowl and how, a lot of these words that are used for Super Bowl parties and all of that, those marks are very protected, and people will get, cease and desist letters if they're using that term without permission. But here you've got, this small taco chain in Wyoming that's, trying to fight back, and they are fighting back. The owner said that it's, that Taco Bell is bullying them, but they're not gonna give in. And so they started promoting their own Taco Tuesday deals, started their own campaigns just to show that they're still using their mark. But the CEO of Taco John's actually issued a statement, and he said, we're lovers, not fighters. And they just accused Taco Bell of being bullies.
Yeah. Well, and I'm wondering how, because aspirin was a trademark, Kleenex still is a trademark, but everybody says, instead of, can I have a facial wipe? can I have a Kleenex?
Right.
And that you had talked about the oversaturation of terms that they eventually become generic terms. And so what is the process? Or let's say Taco Tuesday, the Taco John's loses their trademark. How does that fall from a trademark to a generic term?
Well, it's, it could lose its distinctiveness. Basically, that's what happens when a trademark or a name is used so much that the mark just loses that distinctiveness, and the trademark office could cancel a registration if if it finds that it's just so well known or so there's such widespread use that it does not have a distinctiveness that identifies it to that owner or that brand, but Taco John's a specific brand.
Okay.
So it could happen. Right now it's it's going to be decided by the Patent and Trademark Office, and it's something that was just filed several weeks ago. So Taco John's has an opportunity to respond, and we'll see what comes of it. It'll be interesting to follow.
If you were a betting person, what do you think the outcome would be?
Well, I suspect that Taco Bell has a lot more money to fight this than Taco John's. And so unfortunately, that could come into play. They hire the big guns and they have the resources to be able to put up a big fight. Obviously they launched this campaign that they call the Liberation of Taco Tuesday and hire LeBron James to do these commercials, and they're actually very funny. I mean, if you watch this commercial, if you haven't, you probably can you look it up on YouTube. But he gets bleeped out every time he says Taco Tuesday, and that's got to cost a lot of money, and you just never know what will happen with the litigation that follows.
And so the advice to the consumer, if the consumer is looking at creating a trademark for their business, or if they already have a trademark and there is the possibility that term could go into a generic term, what's the advice for the consumer?
Well, you just really have to protect it. I mean, it's almost like, especially something like Taco Tuesday. Protect it like a family recipe. Make sure that it's registered and make sure that you're enforcing it. Anytime that anybody uses it, then you have to be, proactive in making sure that people know that this is not permissible. It's registered, you're using it and you own it and you're protecting it. So it's unfortunately, it is a difficult thing to do when you're fighting these big corporations, but you just have to be diligent in making sure that you are protecting your brand.
And this happened, I told you this story off the air about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago about protecting your brand. That years ago, literally decades ago, I created a very small business, an entertainment type business that was generated toward kids. And I had created a website, and literally within 36 hours, I got an email from a lady who was an author, and an author who had written several kids' books under this title. And she says, hey, she was very nice about it. Hey, before you hear from my attorneys, I thought I would just reach out to you and say, your business name is trademarked elsewhere. And so she was enforcing her own, as you said, family recipe. And and so within 24 hours, I changed the business name.
Right. And it happens a lot because a lot of small business owners, they start out and they don't know how to do a comprehensive search to make sure that they're not infringing on someone else's mark. And that's just as important as, if you were just creating your own mark and seeking to register it, that search also may help prevent a potential cease and desist letter and or litigation if somebody comes at you more aggressively.
Right. Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. We'll see what comes of that.
Today is Chocolate Ice Cream Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
it's one of the things, just a quick little aside, is the petition that the Taco Bell filed is actually very humorous. Like, they put a lot of humor in it. And it begins with, people like tacos on Tuesdays. They just do. It's even fun to say Taco Tuesday. So they claim that the phrase should belong to all who make, sell, eat, and celebrate tacos.
There's a restaurant. There's a restaurant that's within walking distance of my house, and they celebrate Taco Tuesdays. And
I'm sure probably most Mexican food places have a Taco Tuesday special, or they, especially Cinco de Mayo, you see Taco Tuesday things referenced that week all the time.
Susana, if someone wanted to reach out to you, if they wanted more information about whether it's tacos and Tuesdays or vanilla ice cream or trademark law in general, how can they reach out to you?
They can find me through my website, which is www.mahadylaw.com. You can also reach me directly through my email, which it's smahady, SMAHADY at mahadylaw.com.
That's Susana Mahady, and your 10 minutes is up. It's time for you to go back to work. Your coffee break is over. Susana, I know we don't do this every Wednesday, but the next time we get together, we will share another 10-minute nugget of information.
Sounds good. I'll be here.
We appreciate you listening to the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. By the way, if you own a business and you are interested in being a part of the Consumer Advice Series, if you have the knowledge to give information in 10-minute increments to the consumers, shoot me an email to info@aboutmansfield.com. Again, that is info@aboutmansfield.com. We'll tell you how we can get you all set up. Appreciate it. We do it again next week right here on the podcast.